I want to thank you for a lot of your comments and reaching out. This has just become an incredible amount of fun. There are some moments that are not so fun, but that goes with the territory. So all of you that have shared so many kind words, man, it never gets old. It encourages me, so thank you for that. This Abandonment mini-series, if you will, has stirred some real good interest and some real good feedback, and so I appreciate that from you. Today I want to continue the thought on abandonment. As we talked last time, I just want to tell you that when everybody else was running out of my life, it was amazing to see a few people run into my life. Two people that I talked about that stayed, but for those of you that subscribe to faith, God had a few people run into my life that changed my life forever. If you're not subscribing to faith, I just want to tell you that there's friendships out there for you. Incredibly new friendships, incredibly meaningful friendships. I'm still friends with some of the people that went to the same EMS as us 10 years ago. So I promise you there are new relationships for you. And here I am 10 years later. Let me just tell you, and I'll be very frank and honest with you, I have a ton of friends. A majority of them know my story, but some of them don't know my story. I have more meaningful relationships than I've ever had. Even the people that know my story, love me, support me, stand with me. And you know what? I know their dark stories. And so my story was a transition for them to feel vulnerable enough and comfortable enough. I mean, why wouldn't you, when you hear about such a hellacious story as mine and Samantha's, why wouldn't you feel comfortable sharing your own failure and your own struggle? And so it's become an incredible force of unity between them and I because they can relate. And few things unite you with someone like failure does. When you can hear about somebody else's failure, and when I kind of rattle off my story and their jaws drop, and I just go, oh yeah, sorry, let me just kind of give you, and I don't say it with any form of arrogance. I say it because it kind of, it levels the playing field. And people feel comfortable and kind of go, whoa, you did that? I did that. I kind of feel better about what I did. Good, I'm glad. So let's keep talking. But today I want to turn the tables. And I want to not talk about maybe what abandonment does to you. I want to talk more about what abandonment does for you. Because I think we have to turn the tables on it, and I can tell you all the things that I've learned and how it absolutely was one of the best things that ever happened to me was being abandoned. I am so glad that it happened. It hurt like few things, but it was one of the greatest gifts that I've ever had. I know that's funny. You think abandonment has helped you. Absolutely. Just like infidelity saved my life. Now, some of you hear that and you go, wait a minute, you're saying that you're glad that you had an affair? Not for 1 minute. But I'm saying that the exposure of my infidelity saved my life and rescued me. I'm so glad it came out because it kept me from going where I was headed. And I'll tell you, I was a wrecking ball, and I was causing wreckage and havoc everywhere that I went. But being exposed saved my life, and oddly enough, saved my marriage. Here's a few things that abandonment did for me, how it served me, how it helped me, and it may be doing the same thing for you. Number one is it revealed who was really someone that loved me and was going to stand with me. There was a lot of relationships that I learned that were simple scaffolding. They were there for a season, they were there for a short time, and thank God for it, but the scaffolding came down and crashed and burned. And it really revealed who was there to believe in me and who was there that just wanted to be part of the crowd. I'll tell you, there's been a number of people over the years that have come back to me and said, man, I'm so glad to hear, and I'm so excited, and I'm so glad that your family has been restored. But they didn't stay a friend. They just kind of popped in, said, whoa, awesome, and then they bailed again. Hey, that's great. I'm grateful. That's phenomenal. It meant a lot. But they're still maybe not comfortable being a friend. So abandonment revealed the faulty foundation that I had in my life. I had a foundation more of, look at all these people that love me, and look at all these great friends I have, and I'm so cool, and I'm so wanted, and I'm so loved, and I'm so affirmed. And being abandoned and having that all come apart at the seams helped me to go, wait a minute, my foundation is not on faith, my foundation is not on Christ, it's not on self-respect and integrity, it's on people loving me and wanting me. And that was a miserable crash and burn experience that absolutely reset my theology and reset my integrity and reset what I was trusting in my life as a foundation. Number two is being abandoned really reset my theology. It really caused me to have to think, wait a minute, what do I believe about my faith? What do I believe about Christ? What do I believe about acceptance and forgiveness and mercy and compassion? And am I going to burn in hell? Am I going to bust hell wide open? And should I even try and recommit in my faith and recommit to living a life of integrity? I mean, those are real things I had to ponder through, because I'm telling you, that foundation that I thought I had was gone. And so you, as they say, right, the old adage is that you never know that Christ is all you need until Christ is all you have. And it really centered me, and it's probably centering you as well. The next thing abandonment did for me is it really made me alone. And I got to tell you, I needed to be alone. I needed to have some very dark, very deep conversations with myself as well as with the Lord. I really had to be alone. I needed to see that a lot of those people would never come back. I needed to experience the pain of being alone and feeling abandoned and being left to myself. I needed to have all of that false persona ripped away. I needed to cry, I needed to weep, I needed to be suicidal, I needed to be alone so that I would stop trusting in all of these different people and all of the different emotions that I felt from the affirmation of these people. I needed to have that stripped away so that I could be rebuilt the right way. Another thing that being abandoned did for me is it revealed how insecure I was. I wasn't secure in myself. I wasn't secure in my own confidence and strength and identity in Christ. I wasn't secure in just being able to be alone. I needed all these relationships and I needed all these friends to make me feel better about myself, because deep inside, I hated myself. I was embarrassed of myself. Another thing that being abandoned did is it revealed how prideful I had become, because I was trying to mask this whole dark world inside my soul that nobody knew about. So I projected this sense of incredible confidence and strength, and I was just a jerk. I was just a complete jerk because I was so insecure, and when I was abandoned, it really leveled me out. It showed me what I was trusting in, and it brought me back to the center of my life. Finally, being abandoned gave me a chance at a fresh start. And the best thing about starting over is that you can start over. And so I had to start over. It absolutely forced me to start over and think about how I wanted to be as a man, how I wanted to be as a husband, how I wanted to be as a dad. It gave me a chance to completely start over. And if you've been abandoned, this is your chance to start over and experience new life and experience a new second chance at starting over.